Our first map is Oasis. Always a fun map to start off on.
Yeah, considering we're on University here, I think both teams will, I would assume, are more likely to lean towards a rush sort of comp than anything too
I
diving.
can already tell you what center's running. Just because. No real particular reason why I know, but just because. Yeah. Oh, center's actually running the Symmetra pick. Maybe just for an early start TP, but doesn't seem all that necessary when you have a Lucio on your team.
Well, my guess here is that they go for the TP right out the spawn door, and then the Lucio amp after the TP, and then the Symmetra will probably go maybe Sojourn.
Sojourn is James's go-to pick here. The enemy team's running a Reaper Junkrat rush. Very interesting comp.
Yeah, so definitely a big, certainly rush comps on both sides. But
weird. We got there around. Ooh, good early pick by Vector. This will really sway the fight in center's favor here, as long as the Reinhardt stays alive, I should say. Overwatch 2 really doesn't matter who's dead, as long as the tank is still alive. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely, and Center's really laying down the pressure here so far in South Alabama.
Oh, Alabama's Junkrat is back, and with that, the momentum has been swapped.
They turned the fight quite quickly there.
Yeah, South Alabama took that fight. The worth of the picks definitely mattered there. Center was able to pick off a DPS, but taking their main healer out of the equation was really big for South Alabama.
And one thing Galvanijo.
Huge shatter off the Reinhardt immediately. That is crazy to think Reinhardt built shatter so fast.
Yeah, that was one thing Galvanijo had to look out for there. I don't think he was quite ready for it.
Yeah, I don't think he expected such a fast shatter. Alright, looks like their Baptiste has their ult here, so this could be very fight-winning as well.
South Alabama might look for a double fire strike through the window here on the engage. And James goes down to one of those fire strikes, but the window is still yet to go out from Southern Alabama.
Yeah, Southern Alabama just built their Junkrat ult here as well. Center is committing ults though. They just use Shatter.
Vector gets a snipe onto the Junkrat.
That's a really good snipe.
Center's still gonna have to back out.
Looks like Center is probably swapping off the Reinhardt here. No, Center's staying on the Reinhardt. I'm interested in that Shatter. That was a very interesting Shatter on Center side.
And now, Southern Alabama is about to re-engage here with almost all five ults.
Almost all of their ults. A well-timed beat, though, could save Center's life. They don't notice the Reinhardt behind him, and it results in the death of their main hero. That is really unfortunate.
Donkey goes down, and
Who's James follows, and the rest of the team just collapses. Yeah, that team fight at the beginning really swayed the momentum in South Alabama's favor.
Yeah,
the point is ticking by really fast, too. I don't think they realize how fast the point's ticking.
Yeah, Center's got to make moves really quickly here. And it's Shatter
once
from
again,
behind.
The flanking Reinhardt strat. They don't seem to be ready for it. Alright, James hopped on point. Let's see if we get a pick on the... Oh, really unfortunate kill on Who's James. Good block on the tire by our Vector. Center's able to clean up the rest of the... Center's able to clean up the rest of South Alabama here.
That all started with a clutch touch by Huge James after the flank shatter came out from smoke and Southern Alabama.
Southern Alabama committed every ult to that fight too and still lost. It's very interesting. While Center still holds on to window and is about to have Galvanijo's ult and Who's James' ult.
I think we should look for a really early window here from Chonky Ghost. That double fire strike setup.
Looks like he's looking for it. Oh, pretty late, but better late than never.
They get the lamp out and Galvanijo takes down smoke. Big damage coming out from Chonky Ghost through his window.
That sways the fight for Center there. I'd say he's gonna get the pick on the good kill on the Junkrat. It's actually a really big stagger for him. Let's see if they realize how fast they should probably build their... I'd say Center should probably build their beat pretty fast here.
Yeah, they just have to watch out from that shatter coming up from Southern Alabama, and if Southern Alabama is able to recapture the point at all here, you know, they automatically win the round.
Yeah, so placement of May walls is going to be very crucial here.
Especially if Southern Alabama setting up in that right room. But it looks like Vector slightly...
Oh, and the block on the shatter. That was insane by Galvanijo. Alright, looks like Center's really low on health here. The ult from Who's James not really doing much and getting him killed.
But Center's still holding down the point here. They have a shot.
That is true. Center has the tank. And tank really controls the momentum in Overwatch 2. Let's see if they can build here. With it being down their main tank, it's really...
They have to touch the point, though.
They do have to touch.
Galvanijo makes it. Oh, but
and the beat is just a second too late. But we do have an ult coming out from Vector. Wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like...
And it looks like Center loses on University. Except Chunky Ghost able to touch long enough.
The Center did a really good job there of bringing things back. The first few fights, their momentum was kind of, very low compared to Southern Alabama, considering all the flanks from the Reinhardt and the ultimates that Southern Alabama was able to utilize. But I think things are still promising for the Colonels.
Yeah, I think the Symmetra pick early really threw off what Center was going for. I don't think Symmetra is a very rush character, especially into a Reaper Junkrat. But yeah, the tank mirror and the support mirror really cancel each other out. So all it really matters is the DPS difference here.
And I really like that Center sticking with the Sojourn pick. I mean, she's just so strong on this current path of the game. And Vector is going to go into Reaper here to mirror that damage.
All right, looks like Southern Alabama is going straight to point through the side door here. All right, Who's James on the high ground?
Ooh, real chance to Reinhardt.
Right?
Not there, and the
DPS both jump on our Who's James, almost taking him out. But not
gonna go down. Great support from the
the random grenade by Junkrat. He definitely did not mean to do that. And it looks like being down their tank, Center gets cleaned up pretty easily here by Southern Alabama. I'm wondering if Center will take a Pharah pick or something here. Could be pretty good.
I think Palmercy does have potential. Yeah.
The only issue would be their Baptiste, but if he's not healing, then your other DPS and tank can get in there.
The only downside this Pharah Mercy pick would have potentially is just the Reinhardt and the Baptiste might be left alone.
That is true.
That's a little concerning, Looks like the Reaper's possibly going for a flank from Southern Alabama here, but Galvanijo gets...
Let's see if we can kill a good kill on their Reinhardt. This looks like it could be a cleanup on the Center side. Alright. They're down their Immortality field and their Reaper, so it looks like Center is cleaning up here. I did notice that Southern Alabama used their tire here. Not to much avail, but they did use it.
And so Center's going to come into the next fight with nearly all 5 ultimates. They're really close to finishing up the build on that Reaper ult, as well as the Sojourn and Heat Drop from the Lucio. But on the other hand, Southern Alabama has a lot
3 as well. Almost the 4th one with their Reaper. I'm very interested to see how they'll use ults here.
I think Adama really needs to focus on trying to...
Insane slam by our Galvanijo here. It takes off the Reinhardt with it. What a clip. What a play.
And a team kill for the Colonels as Galvanijo just takes over that team fight all on his own, sacrificing his life in the process.
Alright, but South Alabama did not use any ults there. So that was more or less a net win for them in some sense.
I'm interested to see how Vector plans his engage here, because he's really close to that Death Blossom.
Yep.
And you see him creeping around the side here. I think he's looking to make a move.
Looking for that BAP. But Galvanijo, without the support of their Vector, really got a...
And Vector's not even going to go for the stall here. He's just going to go ahead and back out, and a full reset is coming up for the Colonels.
Yeah, I think Vector played a bit too slow there. Their whole team just ran into ours, and it was like a 4v5.
Now Adama really has to focus on countering that Death Blossom here with deep drop.
Yeah, I think the well-timed beat drop will make or break this game here.
Oh, and the Death Blossom comes out and
the Ajax beats! Oh,
Adama
no.
gets this beat drop canceled after the Death Blossom. He takes out 2.
That is really big. Sinner's gonna need something really large here to come back. Considering Southern Alabama has both support ults. However, Sinner has 3 ults of their own. So
and the immortality and the beat drop though can really entirely negate a Death Blossom here. So I think Vector really needs to pick and choose carefully where he tries to use his ult.
Yeah,
and they come out with the aggressive
an early beat drop. Vector's still holding on to that Death Blossom.
The lamp is forced out though, and Vector gets 3.
Blossom.
Looking to clean up the fight potentially, but a shadow comes out.
What
I don't know if it's going to be enough. Center
the Reaper took down our Adama, but
back and forth.
Galvanijo on the Reaper and takes the point back for Center College.
Clutch there for Center.
Yep, I think the beat on Alabama side was a bit too early, but we'll see how it pans out here.
Now, potentially going into the last fight of the round here, Chunky Ghost has to be very careful about when he uses the Immortality field, considering Junkrat on Southern Alabama is about to have his first power.
All right,
that's a good window.
Early window here.
Resources low for Southern Alabama, but Adama goes down,
kind of jumps in there.
and the windows are crisscrossing each other on the high ground.
And I think, we were down. Oh, Center's down 4 here. Maybe Who's James gets a 5K?
He's got his ultimate ready.
But he doesn't touch in time.
Yeah.
That pick on Adama at the beginning by Junkrat really took out Center in that last fight.
With that really early window from Center, they did a really good job of depleting the shield on Southern Alabama side, but I think they needed to amp speed into that, or right into the doorway here.
I think Center played really slow right there, and that cost them.
But it was a very close round, and I think, taking some time to recuperate, maybe alter the comp a little bit going into the next map and help them.
Yeah, had things gone slightly differently, Center would have had that. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting round. I think Center really, Southern Alabama really exposed where Center's weaknesses were in that round. How fast they commit to a fight could be.
How early they commit to a fight. Not necessarily even how fast, because their Reinhardt in the first round, as we saw, was flanking, 2-3 fights in a row. And Center wasn't quite ready to anticipate that.
Yeah. I think timing our Lucio speed boost into their team and knowing when to engage and when to, back out is something that we need to pay a little more attention to.
Absolutely, especially in, on maps like Oasis where the rounds are so heavily in the favor of rush compositions, like the ones we were seeing on both sides. Yeah.
We also saw that ults were being held on for quite a while on Center side, and that kind of cost them. Like when our Lucio beat into a Death Blossom, which ended up getting him killed, that I feel like if he ulted just the slightest bit earlier, it would have kind of changed the tide of the game.
Absolutely. I think in Overwatch 2, with the faster tempo in general that the game has compared to Overwatch 1, supports have to be even more decisive and, even more proactive about how and when they use their ultimates.
Yep. All right, so it looks like for round 2, we're heading on to Hollywood hybrid map, and Center is defending first. Center's running a very interesting comp here with replacing Vector on Reaper with Hanzo, but keeping everything from the Oasis map. However, Southern Alabama has a very interesting comp as well. I'm not sure I've seen this one before.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how their pharmacy kind of works out in making sure that Anna is still able to live, considering, Center does have the Lucio.
That is true. They're running Monkey, Genji, Echo, Mercy, and Ana here. This will be very interesting because I feel like if they're not careful, their Ana's going to get left in the dust, and
Center with
really dangerous.
Center with the 2 ranged DPS, they can really exploit that being on the high ground.
Yep. All right, so it looks like Who's James is not really paying too much attention to the Echo here, kind of letting her do her own thing. Oh, good pick on the Genji immediately. And the Mercy. I think that should be enough for Sinner to close out this fight here. There is a monkey on point that Sinner does turn their attention to. They take him out.
Yeah, great work from Sinner in that first fight to focus individuals early on in the fight rather than, you know, spreading their focus across different members of Southern Alabama's team.
Yeah, they also did a great job in like pushing after they had gotten that first pick on Genji. And that's a very early pick on the Genji again by our Vector here. Ooh, trying really hard to stop the res, but misses his arrows. Sinner doesn't see the flanking Echo here. Wonder if that will cost a little bit. Who's James doing a great job hunting down their Mercy, not letting her get too much airtime. Oh, but Sleepless is popping onto our Chunky Ghost. It looks like Sinner's trading here. Sinner's not down by 2. I spoke way too soon.
Galvanijo maybe has a chance to bring this back though. He's got pretty high energy, but both CPS are on him in Southern Alabama, and he goes down to his own right.
He almost had one of the DPS too. And it looks like Sinner's giving them the point here, not willing to go in there and contest. Ooh, that's a really good pick by their Genji here. Notice that Adam is staying on speed quite a lot. I'm interested to see what his stats look like for speed and heals. Don't get me wrong, speed's I'd argue speed's more important on Lucio than heals.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Galvanijo has his grab ready. Vector goes
good
down.
pick on their Winston. I wonder if we'll push into them here.
Yeah, the blades coming up from Southern Alabama. A great lamp from Chonky Ghost.
Huge.
Get the elim.
What a great way to make them waste an ult, basically.
Adam is speeding Sinner back in here.
Sinner almost has all 5 ults built here, while Southern Alabama has about 4. So this will be very interesting to see the ult economy.
Oh, Galvanijo making an ambitious push.
Galvanijo has very little bubbles.
He puts down the grab, and a dragon comes out from Vector.
That's
enough
enough to
goes
take out
according
the
to
fight.
plan for the Colonels.
Those very interesting grab combos that they did there, because Galvanijo ran straight into their team, almost died, and somehow lived while grabbing their entire team. So
I think that was a
good
nice
work on
impromptu plan by the Colonels. Like, I kind of doubt that they intended to use their grab dragon combo.
Oh, definitely. They definitely did.
They won the fight, and that's all you can ask for.
Alright, Galvanijo is
Caught a little far forward again, but it
he's
looks like
out of his bubbles. Bit of a late beat, which is how
he was able to get
Vector died.
Galvanijo out though.
That is true. However, Adam was fighting on point, and he did stall for quite a bit. They're down to 3 minutes now rather than where they were before. But the Mercy res is so clutch in a 5v5 game. The Echo Mercy has been doing really well, actually, for what it is.
And
We see the swap on the Diva here off of the Zarya.
perhaps a bit of an early engage by Galvanijo. And
Yeah, the Winston in the back line was not something they were prepared for. It definitely caught them off guard here. Ooh, and they're stalling with the baby Diva here.
And right now, what I'm thinking is, I'm not sure how I feel about Vector swapping onto the Reaper here against the Echo Mercy composition. I assume he's trying to.
I think he's trying to counter or put pressure on their Winston.
Yeah.
But I don't think their Winston's their biggest problem here.
I don't either. I think it really comes down to that trio of dives with the Genji, the Echo, and the Mercy, and how effective they've been. Because Huge James on the Sojourn is really able to put effective pressure on the Ana and force it to limit the amount of time he spends peeking around corners. But
he's been doing a pretty good job on the Mercy as well. Keeping her out of the air, which is really good. So that way she doesn't have as much versatility of who she can go to.
And the window
coming out from Chonky Ghost. That's enough to keep our Vector alive. 1 ult was all that was needed to win this fight here. However, South Alabama did not spend a single ult of their own.
Yeah, they've got a Blade and a Valkyrie here, which makes me think they might look to combo that. They might even wait until their Nano boost is ready.
Yep.
for essentially what can allow Genji to kill 200 HP heroes in one swing.
Yeah, this will be very interesting, especially considering Adam doesn't have a beat yet. If they were to ult right now into them, it would be very hard for Sinner to survive. Good headshot on the Echo. That might be game changing, or at least momentum shifting here. Because Vector's able to build the Blossom off of this.
Don't think he's going to have to use it here because Sinner is...
Yeah, he's able to hold on to it. Can they kill the Mercy is a different question as well. Alright, Adam has built his beat. I think beat will be the most game-changing ultimate in this fight. Because they're definitely going to Nano Blade. But if Adam gets picked off before he's able to get that beat off, it might be. Okay, and he gets the beat before the blade comes out. But it's not enough.
So many ults coming out from both sides here, but Sinner's going to come out on top.
Sinner comes out on top, actually, yeah. The Death Blossom on point really saved Sinner there.
You know, if I was Southern Alabama in that situation, what I think I would do is use Echo's ultimate to copy to get the Lucio, build a sound barrier, and then just go all in supporting that Genji play. But they opted not to do that. They totally went for the Nano Blade combo.
Yeah, they saved both Mercy ult and Echo ult. I think if they would have committed those, they might have won that fight.
Absolutely.
We do see a swap onto the Zarya here, and a duplication on the D.Va. Very quickly dispatched of the D.Va mech. However, Echo is not in the front lines. That's very interesting.
Great protection from Galvanijo onto the Chunky Ghost there.
Yep. And here we see the D.Va Bomb come out. That's unfortunate. However, Chunky Ghost is still alive here. He can... I spoke way too soon. Looks like Galvanijo is the only one on cart right now. Except who's James coming in with a snipe on the Echo?
He gets the health back, and more members of that are falling.
With the DPS coming back in, it was... Galvanijo did a great job stalling for his DPS to come back.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how he managed to live for so long with all that pressure coming out from the Echo, and now Southern Alabama is swapping to Cassidy here.
Yep. They finally swapped off the Echo. With our out of ults, they are very close to building Blade and Grab. Wonder how that's going to play out. And Sinner is close to building their Death Blossom, and pretty soon they'll have a beat as well. Genji was doing a great job at keeping the Genji busy, while the rest of Sinner just cleaned up Southern Alabama.
Sinner really surprised me here with how they made that Reaper pick work, but I think when it comes to the enclosed space that is Hollywood third point, the D.Va is pretty much enough on her own to limit the capabilities of Echo and those dive DPS. There really aren't a lot of unpredictable flank routes to take when you're attacking in that last 15 to 20 meters of that point.
Yeah, that is true as well. Also, the Galvanijo is just knowing how to not die or how to reduce the amount of damage that you're taking is really beneficial, as we saw Galvanijo being able to survive for much longer than he should have for his DPS to get back and clean up the rest of Southern Alabama.
That's actually something that really impressed me about how Galvanijo plays D.Va, because he just manages to start the fight in places where I don't think someone would typically start, and he manages to escape, and I think that's credit to him and Adama as well as Chonky Ghost and their ability to support him.
Yeah, we're swapping up the Reaper for a Genji and our Baptiste for an Ana here. Definitely looking for some Nano Monkey or Nano Blade stuff here. However, both DPS are swapping up, and the tank for Southern Alabama. We're running Lucio, Orisa, Baptiste, Junkrat, and Reaper. Very, very more defensive than what Sinner was running at the time, but it will be defensive enough to stop this rush.
I'm really excited to see Vector bring out the Genji here.
It's always a show when Vector's on Genji. Alright, playing a bit passive because of these Junkrat grenades. They don't know Reaper's on the left side waiting for him to turn this corner here. And Galvanijo shot straight into his death there. Alright, looks like they're backing up here. This fight is not one they want to take. But they do get the pick on the Reaper. That's really good. Oh, we're seeing a swap off the Winston to Zarya. And it looks like a swap off of Ana to Baptiste here.
I think these are some good choices by Center. I wasn't too sure that Winston would work too well in attack against a Reaper and Junkrat combo.
Ooh, early pick on our Lucio from their Junkrat. I think their Junkrat was a huge player last round, is a huge player now as well. They get very early picks.
Yeah, Center's really struggling to deal with the spam coming out from Southern Alabama right now.
Ironically enough, a sniper here or pharmacy, like mentioned before, could hurt their team quite a bit as they really have nobody to deal with the pharmacy.
Especially with the open air at Hollywood.
Yep, and also they dropped the Reinhardt like they had in Oasis, so that would just make pharmacy here even better. Galvanijo really trying to be conservative with his bubbles here. The tire coming out on Adama with a flanking Junkrat. Yeah, Junkrat is a hard character for Center to combat against here. Vector's really having a hard time even getting in there because of the Junkrat spam. You can't deflect the mines if they're blown up early like there, and it's really rough for Center here.
Yeah, not a lot of ultimates are being built on the side of Eternals. However, Southern Alabama has a lot of potential here to just win the fight right away with the
Orisa
window.
is flanking. She went up the stairs, and I don't think Center has noticed.
The Orisa comes through with her ultimate. Galvanijo gonna be able to escape. Not with much help
Ooh,
though.
Galvanijo does escape here.
Wow.
The lamp does come out, but the Orisa's chasing. She wants that kill on Galvanijo. Yeah, this is why Galvanijo is so good at just surviving. He just refuses to die.
Wow.
Oh, and the Orisa gets a pick on the BAP, but it does not seem like it'll be enough to stop Center's push here.
And Vector comes out with 3 very important kills there, but the Orisa on the side of Southern Alabama is just so committed to taking that engagement in that hallway. And, you know, Orisa is very strong in this fighting in close spaces, but when you're going in 1v4 against, you know, a team that consists of a high charge Zarya and, you know, a Baptiste that, you know, has his lamp and has such, you know, large amounts of burst healing.
Good pick on the Junkrat there. But yeah, I agree. I think the Orisa was a bit overextended there, and it kind of cost them the fight. Galvanijo used both bubbles now. Wonder if they'll use this as an opportunity to push into them, or as an opportunity to get high ground. We see Southern Alabama taking the high ground here. With Vector swapping off of Genji here as well. He's out looking for those snipes on Ponzer.
Galvanijo brings up the grab, the beat drop.
Oh, the beat drop in the lamp is enough to keep them all alive here. Yeah. What an exchange there. It doesn't look like anybody was up there to help Galvanijo. That looked like a very impromptu ultimate, but we've seen many impromptu ultimates from Zarya work, so. Center is sitting on 3 ults here, and so is Southern Alabama. And Southern Alabama is actually almost at a 4th. So, once again, I think this will heavily rely on the beat from our Adam here.
I'd like to see Center hold on to that beat until they bring out the Death Blossom.
That is true. I think Blossom. I think oh, early pick on the Baptiste here by our Vector. That is really big. And out comes the Dragon. We beat. It's a very interesting beat here.
But he saves them from the Orisa. Looks like they're.
Oh, and they blossomed there, getting rid of another ult on side of Southern Alabama.
Yeah, so Southern Alabama put out 2 ultimates in that fight, and neither of them did much of anything. Center, great work by Adama to, you know, use the beat drop decisively, and in the end, you know, the repo ult didn't even matter. So, you know, his job was done successfully.
That's true. Good window coming out to ensure they get this point. Yep, and it looks like Center is able to clean up and take the 2nd point on Hollywood.
Another great early decisive support ult, this time, you know, coming out from Chonky. Allowed Center to really put the pressure on the hallway that Southern Alabama is trying to push through.
Alright, so now it's to the point where it's win or lose. Center's really got to make decisions. Southern Alabama swapping up their DPS for Widowmaker, Meg. It'll be very interesting to see if the Widow is able to start picking off some of our team. Without a shield, it's too rough. early pick on our vector here, and Southern Alabama is running into center now, really pushing that advantage. I wonder if trying to keep them alive is actually just feeding the ults on the side of Southern Alabama.
Possibly. That was a quick rush coming from the high ground there by Southern Alabama, but it was very smart.
But they do, their Reinhardt does have Shatter now, and their Lucio is not far off from the beat. So this will be very interesting seeing how center comes back from this play. Alright, looks like...
I'd watch out from that flank from Southern Alabama's Reinhardt. He might go for it again.
Looks like Who's James really coming in with a pick on the Widowmaker. Kevin is committed to the kill on that Mei. Alright. Looks like down both DPS. I think center can clean up here if they want to speed into them.
Yeah, they are up too.
They're not even going to touch point here. Oh, they just barely touched. Was that a miss shatter? Or did...
There was a shatter coming out. I think Galvanijo used his...
He might use his bubble to block it. It was very interesting.
He's almost got the Graviton Surge and a great
Oh,
beat
a
from
good beat
Adama.
coming out. Counter beat from Southern Alabama here. Who's James really coming in with the picks on their own soldier. And it looks like that is going to be the cleanup that center needs to take home this round. Tying it up at 1-1, center versus Southern Alabama.
Yeah, that was a really... The difference in ultimate usage from the supports on center side, this map was just night and day compared to Oasis. I mean, that was really impressive, what Chonky Ghost and Adama managed to do.
We see the play coming out from Galvanijo had some very impromptu hits, but they almost all of them, I should say, led to something incredible. Like his first ult at Zarya on defense in the quarter area, this ult right here, the only ult that we saw from Galvanijo, which was a bit questionable, was on the roof, but he definitely cleaned up the act after that.
I think another difference on this map compared to the last one was the effectiveness of the DPS ultimates from Southern Alabama. I did not see a lot of Death Blossom kills from them. I did not see much abuse made out of the Echo copy or the Junkrat tires. So really, I mean, that difference from the supports on center side and the DPS on Southern Alabama side, I mean, that made a significant difference in deciding the winners of each of these two maps that we've seen so far.
I agree. The Junkrat was still a pretty decent issue for center to deal with, especially on the first point in Hollywood. Yeah. But once center got that first pick or two, and the Orisa was really out of position, they took advantage of that and came back to win the round.
Yeah, those second and third points of Hollywood really don't favor Junkrat as strongly as that first one, where the attack is forced to kind of pick and choose between really just three really tight, one lane hallways.
Yeah, I think Southern Alabama realized that a little too late, and they'd swapped to Mei already at the last point. But good on them for actually realizing that and making the swap. Indeed. So that was a very good round coming out of center and Southern Alabama here. Do we know what the next map is? All right, looks like Rialto is the next map.
And this is interesting because Rialto is not in the map pool for ranked or quick play right now. So I'm not sure. I guess this map has been worked into scrimmages between teams.
I just recently played a game on Blizzard World in a custom game as well, which is also interesting because it's another map that is in rotation right now. So I'm wondering, Center doesn't have much experience and practice on this map, so it'll be very interesting to see how they, as a team, come together.
And I mean, I personally, I don't know how the 5v5 gameplay affects sort of the dynamics of this map. So, for me personally, I'm interested to see how that goes. How what tactics, what places on the map teams make either more or less advantage of, considering the one less team member on each side.
That's true. Especially a tank, like it's so hard to understate how incredibly different it is playing with one tank in Overwatch 2.
And I think on Rialto especially, you see a lot of teams get held the first point. I feel like more so than other maps. And I think with one tank taking up sort of less of that, instead of two, obviously you have less tanks just soaking up all that damage. And I think that allows for more teams to be able to really break through that first point and
Yeah,
see
I
more
agree.
progress being made on the second and third objectives.
I agree. Right, center, it will be defending first here while Southern Alabama pushes. I wonder what kind of comps we're going to see from center on defense on Rialto. Center's pretty known for their like Sigma poke. They like to do that occasionally on defense, like on New Queen Street and other just straight on payload maps. So it'll be very interesting to see what the comp is going to look like for both sides.
And as for the changes that are being made to some maps to sort of accommodate for the 5-on-5 format, I'm seeing several new statues and boxes and bushes sort of placed throughout the map here. I'm interested to see how those work for the attacking and defending team.
Looks like Center is running a rush comp on defense here in Rialto. However, they're running a Hanzo here instead of their normal Genji. So this will be very interesting to see what their play is. Meanwhile, Southern Alabama is running a very unique comp that we haven't seen before. Actually committing a pharmacy here.
There's lots of potential for Sinister, the Ana, on Southern Alabama to be left completely alone. If Sinner can take advantage of that and use their speed boost effectively, I think they can catch him off guard a lot.
Yeah. Something else that I didn't immediately notice is that they made a swap on the players that they're playing, that they have for their tank. Neptunica was not their tank player beforehand, so this will be very interesting to see the differences on how they play and engage.
Yeah, Smoke has been in for the first two maps, but now he's no longer in the game.
Does not look like they're paying much attention to the pharmacy except the Hanzo, which can be... Honestly, it's very 50-50 whether Hanzo can deal with the bear or not.
Yeah, I would hope that the Sojourn and Hanzo combo can hopefully be...
Ooh, they almost pick out the fair there, however. Mercy heals on the fair is so strong. Good pick off the Genji immediately. One less DPS they have to worry about. And I think Southern Alabama's Mercy is doing a really good job of line-of-sighting their DPS. He's staying around this corner, like occasionally flying up, but always behind that corner where the Hanzo can't see it and the Soldier can't either. And Center's having a really hard time killing the Pharah. Ooh, and it looks like Galvanijo coming in clutch with the bubble on our Vector here. But the pick on Galvanijo could be huge for Southern Alabama.
Center's doing a really good job of holding down their backline though in all these fights so far. You know,
what a cleanup.
If I'm the Colonels, I'm perfectly fine with the Fair Barrage coming out, 80 seconds into the round if it only gets one player and then, we're still able to win the fight.
Right.
These longer fights where not many people are dying and we're just building our ults, I think does favor the Colonels because they're coming up on this Grab Dragon combo. They're going to have their beat drop to respond to the eventual Blade from Sleepless. Now with the Torbjorn on Southern Alabama's side, I think Center, they're in a good spot. They're in a good spot.
Torbjorn on offense is a very interesting pick for Southern Alabama. Ana's really low, like very close to taking care of it. The movement by Galvanijo.
He had me very weird for a second. He was getting quite low there.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. But Galvanijo has such interesting ways of surviving.
He somehow got away with it. And then
Nano Diva worked in killing our Hanzo, but will it be enough to clean up this fight here for Southern Alabama? It doesn't seem like it'll be what we need. However, the Genji is back and he popped the blade here. However, Center has a beat ready for just this occasion. Ooh, Genji almost dead, but could not come up with it. And with the kill on Adam, it looks like Southern Alabama is taking this home. Or taking this first point.
Center should have a shot at a recontest here, especially with the Window and Sojourn ultimate combo. However, they really have to watch out for the Torbjorn ultimate coming out from Snoop fairly soon.
Alright, let's see what Center's bringing out here.
Another great window from Chonky Ghost.
Chonky Ghost has been on his game with these windows. Alright, looks like the window alone is able to clean up this fight for Center.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to look out for coming out from Southern Alabama in this next engagement, though, considering they can zone center out really hard and take a lot of space with both the Diva Bomb and the Torbjorn ultimate. Those will really cover a lot of ground.
And if they really need to, they have the Mercy ult in the back just to keep everybody alive. They don't have much to be afraid of except grab coming up by our Galvanijo here.
Yeah, the only disadvantage to this...
Oh, here comes the Diva Bomb. Not really killing anybody, but it did create quite a bit of space. Galvanijo is insanely hurt here. And Southern Alabama capitalizes on it. However, who's James with the insane shots?
Oh my god!
Who is this James?
Who is James?
Who is
went
James?
absolutely insane.
That was insane. Oh my god.
Absolutely a diabolical Sojourn ultimate by Who's James. That left me speechless.
I have nothing to say.
That might be the clutch of the season from Center. Wow.
Definitely the clutch of the week, and we're not even done with all the games. That 4K?
You know, that takes me back to the Summer Showdown 2020. It almost reminds me of EQO being on Genji for the Fusion, taking down, I believe it was the Pairs Eternal. Like, that was exact. That's just, wow. Takes me
Sojourn
back.
has so much carry potential in this game. It's really amazing to see like people like James who are so good at this character just pop off. It's always so fun to see that.
You know, and as we were talking about for the round, Rialto is a map where teams tend to get held to that first point, and Center managed to do just that, Southern Alabama.
Southern Alabama is swapping up their comp a little bit. They're dropping the Mercy for a Lucio and swapping who is playing Ana. They are also dropping their second, they're dropping the Torbjorn for a Bastion here. This will be the first time the Kerns have actually played against a Bastion in a actual competitive game. So, well, it's also one of the first times Bastion's been allowed to be played in a competitive game, so this will be very interesting to see.
I think with this long-range damage that Center has, you know, not just with their DPS picks, but also their bad Ps, that allows them to, you know, have some counterplay against this Bastion.
That is true. Center is running the same DP or same support comp as they usually do. This will be very interesting to see how they're. Never mind. Vector really taking these angles here. He's being really good about picking angles that work really great for him and not overextending those.
I think the key to Center's attack here is just being patient, waiting for the Bastion's turret cooldown to be used, and just like that, they got the turret cooldown out, and he mispositions himself coming off of it, and Center takes perfect advantage of that.
Yeah, Bastion's a double-edged sword in games like these because he's just recently been added to the game, so yeah, not many people know how exactly to play Bastion yet.
Yeah, Who's James and the rest of Center's roster just rolling through this first point. I'm not sure if Southern Alabama will be able to touch or not, but Center's kind of neglecting, they were neglecting to push the tail up for a few seconds.
But now they're sitting in their spawn, trying to prevent them from even getting close to the point.
So
and it
much
looks
time.
like it's working kind of well. Oh, what a shot from their Junkrat!
The Center takes the Junkrat down in return, and it's
So
looking
now
like a
they're
pretty
even.
even fight.
Yeah, Center's down their lamp. However, they are very close to both support ults here. An early beat or a window will definitely turn the tides of this fight.
I'm thinking maybe Anima could have aggressed on him and getting out of it. He goes down anyway. Galvanijo kind of taking on the back line of Southern Alabama on his own. And the supports, as well as Who's James, deal with the front line as Center takes map 3.
2-1 for Center College here. They did a really good job after, really did a good job recovering from the first loss of the first round.
And who could forget Who's James?
This clip is so insane. I could watch it a few more times. So, boom, kill on the Tor. Boom, air headshot on the Mercy. Headshot on the Ana. Headshot on the Diva. That is
One of the smoothest plays you'll ever see.
Oh, if I was Who's James, I would be freaking out right now. Good work on the side of Center for really stepping it up on their DPS. Like the way they're positioned, the way they're keeping calm. If you watch how Who's James was aiming, he wasn't very frantic in the fight. Even though he was down his tank, he was still very calm and very collected for that. play right there.
Yeah, as we talked about following map 2, highlighting center supports and the way they use their ultimates, I think that really extended onto the rest of the team on Rialto. Not just in ultimate usage, but in the way they were playing. They seemed very in control. They seemed willing to play whatever tempo they needed to play at in order to win each individual engagement. And I don't think Southern Alabama was really in that same headspace on Rialto.
I agree. We didn't see many ultimates on the side of Southern Alabama, especially during the push on center, or push with when center was pushing. But I agree. I think the ultimate usage for Southern Alabama has been not as good as it was in the first round, and I think it's because center has become more aggressive onto them. Their Lucio is speeding into them a lot more, especially when they're down a pick. And the center is really applying the pressure on the Southern Alabama.
Yeah, Galvanijo's the aggressive mindset he brings to playing his tank role. Center's really, starting to come around and play with that rather than being afraid to take those aggressive positions early in the fight, like you've been mentioning.
Yep. And it looks like our next map for round 4, match point, is New Queen Street. It's the first push map of the set. I'm very interested to see if center keeps the exact same comp they've been playing, old reliable, or if they're going to swap it up a bit.
Now, I'd really like to see both teams take the first engagement by coming up these stairs on either side of this ice hockey statue, because I think that really gives them the best sort of point of view over the rest of the map, gives them the best angles to cover the flanks, cover the other pieces of high ground that lay in that tunnel and on top of the buses on either side. So we'll see what happens though. Center sticking with a pretty reliable composition for them.
Yeah, but however, old South Alabama swapping up their comp quite a bit. They keep these same, supports of Lucio Bath.
Besides,
But we're seeing the Reinhardt again, which we haven't seen since the first point on Oasis.
Yeah.
And they swap to Cass and Soldier of their own now.
And they're also reintroducing Smoke back into the roster.
That is true.
The tank that they played on the first 2 maps of this match.
And it looks like center is taking the ice hockey stake, and so is Southern Alabama. Let's see who gets more control in second first. Ooh, early pick on Vector might... This definitely switches the momentum into the side of Southern Alabama. And center, their health bars are looking mighty low, but nobody is on the point. Nobody is pushing Mr. Robot again.
Great job by center to understand the tempo and the dynamic of that engagement there. Once they lose one player, to sort of be proactive about backing out. Granted, it helped that the Reinhardt on Southern Alabama charged them all back, but they didn't panic and they understood the situation. Now they'll be able to re-engage earlier than they would have.
Yeah, Ryan is very. I really like Reinhardt on this map specifically. On this half of the push, I think Ryan plays pretty well in the Zarya here. And the shatter coming out by Smoke, knocking down a lot of center here, and getting rid of their main heals, all their heals, is enough to clean up the fight for Southern Alabama.
I think so far Smoke is proving why he should be in that starting roster for Southern Alabama.
Smoke's Reinhardt is really, really dangerous. Reinhardt, who knows when to be aggressive and when not to be, is a very scary Reinhardt indeed.
And now we might see a early window from Southern Alabama, but we also have a Graviton Surge ready from Galvanijo, and he uses it.
Oh, and the beat comes out by Southern Alabama. Not enough to turn the tides of the fight, though. Galvanijo going really deep in there, causing Southern Alabama to have to back up here. While center takes the car for themselves. Who's James getting a quick triple kill on the side of Who's James, really changing the momentum for center. If they can get these staggers here, that would be insane for the other DPS. They able to get the staggers, and I think that gives center a little bit more time to push the cart.
Yeah, Vector and Who's James really just taking the lobby back for themselves after Smoke owned it for the first 2 or 3 fights.
Yep. The only issue I could see our center running into here is a window coming in on the side of Southern Alabama and a overclock. However, center has an overclock of their own and a beat. Center uses their beat bit early, I want to say.
I believe they were
A bit
responding to the
passively.
overclock. But, you know, it might work in their favor here.
Oh, who's James popping off as per you with the overclock?
I don't think you can leave Who's James' point of view once he
man.
uses that ultimate. You just know some
He's
special
so
might happen.
entertaining to watch with that overclock.
And now we have a grab dragon combo ready
Yep.
for
And a window coming up for Sinner.
yeah.
Sinner is going to take the lead here and the forward spawn point.
I think Center needs to be really careful about making sure that grab is in the spot where they're able to destroy the Baptiste lamp. And it goes out. Are they able?
Are they dragging? Here comes
There's
the
the
dragon
lamp.
and the big 3 by Vector here.
Perfect execution by Center.
Yeah, good discipline by Galvanijo to wait to grab there until the Lucio came out.
And there's the understanding of the tempo. You know, Center saw and they recognized that, you know, with that Reinhardt Lucio rush composition that Southern Alabama has, they are the aggressor. Southern Alabama is aggressive, and they waited for them to take their spot.
Ooh, Vector jumping into team comp. You know, it looks like the dive onto the unexpected dive onto the team, onto Center, was enough to clean them up.
And that situation, you know, the opposite is true. Center just wasn't ready for the rush, the aggressiveness that comes with Southern Alabama. Perhaps after that last fight where their Graviton Surge kind of won it so easily for them, they just, you know, kind of were jumbled up. But
I would like to see Adam use the walls a bit more. He's playing a bit of a ground Lucio style. I think if he could swing around the walls a bit more, that'd be very beneficial for his survivability at least. And it looks like Sinners, once they got the kill on that Reinhardt, they began pushing it. That's really good adaptation from him.
we could see a pretty strong amped speed boost Earth Shatter combo from Southern Alabama here. Even with the Cassidy Deadeye, you know, that is a very strong combination of abilities.
And here comes the Reinhardt, popping Reinhardt by himself, it seems, popping that. The kill on Vector. Alright, 2 ults coming out for Southern Alabama. And it looks like that's all they're willing to expend here. No more, no less. Who's James able to make it out? Well, let me not speak too soon. Who's James trying his hardest to survive, but in the end, he really just got staggered. Might not have been too great for his team. Alright, Sinner's sitting on about 2 ults here. You could definitely build 2 more pretty fast. While Southern Alabama has Deep and Deadeye here. Ooh, but the charge from Smoke really throwing off the...
Yeah, the beat drop came out from Southern Alabama, perhaps a bit too late.
Oh, but oh, there's so much happening here. The trades are... I don't know how to feel. May is coming. And Galvanijo...
Great patience from Galvanijo to not be, you know, overly ambitious with the Graviton Surge and save it for the next fight.
Yep, and I do want to say that they did very well of like just waiting, and once they killed the Reinhardt, they didn't immediately run into them, or else, you know, the ults from the other team would have killed them, like the Deadeye. But they did really well recovering.
And look at this, the Reinhardt from Southern Alabama is hiding behind Center
Let's see if he gets a
with no Earth Shatter, but he has a pin.
Oh, luckily Sinner is able to move out of the way and allow the person to get hit to be Galvanijo. However, losing both DPS here might be rough for Sinner to come back on. Galvanijo's tracking on Zarya is so good.
Alright, so Center loses that engagement, but they do still have about 5 meters worth of lead on the robot's distance compared to Southern Alabama. So, you know, I think the goal for them, as it probably was the last time Southern Alabama had control of the robot, was just keeping that lead, keeping that distance advantage.
Alright, early jump down by Vector, and I think that was a bit too early, as it did force out the lamp from Chonky Ghost, which results in a clean up by Southern Alabama. No way of really like stopping them here. Alright, Southern Alabama sitting on about 3 ults here soon. Oh, great pick by Vector though. Good pick on their main heals. It looks like Sinner's really gonna push this advantage now. Yep, they are really running into them now.
Great work on Adam to speed boost them in there to clean up what was left of Southern Alabama.
Smoke did a great job escaping there as well. He understood that the situation was, not favorable for them, and then charged out of there. Did kind of leave his team to die, but I think he'd rather them die than him die.
So we're coming up on another Who's James overclock, and I'm excited to see what it might lead to.
Yep, I am as well. Okay, out with the beat, so Who's James doesn't have to worry about that. But down goes Galvanijo.
Yeah, and Center also brought up their beat drop there.
And once again, like you were saying, I think the beat drop was a bit late, for Southern Alabama. Center, the timing of beat drops is really changing the momentum of the game. We see that if it comes out too early, it doesn't help the team at all. And if it comes out too late, then once again, it doesn't help the team at all. So knowing when to beat drop is something that I think Center could work on a bit. Well, both teams actually could work on a bit. The charge from Smoke here, really doing his best to try and survive while he's a bit overextended from the rest of his team.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the rest of Southern Alabama really was in that game.
Oh, yeah. Where were they?
Perhaps a bit of a miscommunication.
We did kind of skip the Who's James ult here. That might have been where they were. The overclock was keeping them back. However, they are all back.
We've got a Graviton Surge Dragon combo potentially coming out from Center here. No beat drop for Southern Alabama.
Ooh, but a quick charge on the Who's James by Smoke and the overclock from Southern Alabama.
No lamp available though. Galvanijo does not.
Oh, Galvanijo ended up taking himself out with his own right clicks. Let's see if Adama can escape here. Oh, he's willing to try and stall. I don't know if that was worth his life there, though.
Okay,
especially with 11 seconds left on the clock.
It's kind of a matter of life or death here now for Center because they just can't lose.
If they don't touch, they lose. Oh, Galvanijo with us. The clutch touch. Huge grab here. Could be game changing. It's good kill on the Baptiste, but they got their own kill on their Center's Baptiste. They're just trading kills back and forth. The Center is up now. It's just a May and a Lucio alive here.
That was smart work by Galvanijo to use his Graviton Surge, get the Reinhardt out of swinging distance, as well as position it in a way where he could apply damage through the window into the grab targets.
The only problem that Center might run into here is a May ult and a Lucio beat coming on the side of South Alabama.
I think a lot of pressure relies on Adam to be able to speed boost his team out of the May ultimate, as well as time to beat drum. Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like Adam beats here.
There it is.
Into the May ult. Ooh, but I don't think it's enough. Adam got pushed into the May ult there, and it looks like that will be round 4 going to Southern Alabama here. I think the moral of this game is just beat timing is really hard to get down. We saw on the side of both Center and Southern Alabama the just constant mistiming of beats changing the momentum of the fights.
And I think a lot of credit is due though to just the amount of pressure each team's damage and tank players were the amount of pressure. It's so hard to manage when you only have one defensive ultimate, and obviously a Lucio Zenyatta support combo where you have 2 support ultimates just wouldn't put out enough healing anyway. Yep. So that it is really difficult for the Lucio players to manage, but a lot of fights were won just because there was more offensive utility than defensive utility coming out.
Something else I think I'd really like to see on the side of Center here is beating and then immediately speed boosting or amping speed boosts. Mainly because once we beat, we don't need heals. Well, for a little while at least. We shouldn't need heals, so just running into the team there, getting maybe 1 or 2 picks, and then just cleaning up the fight from there, I think is something that Center should really be looking for trying to do. In Southern Alabama, they've both been running Lucio the entire time.
Yeah, Lucio is definitely quite strong in the current state of the game, but so I'm glad to see him being played on both sides because I think it gives him the best chance of winning. But I like how there's two different sort of ways that each team is playing around that character. You know, in Southern Alabama, it's much more traditional rush with Reinhardt and May, and even Reaper and Junkrat, just lots of in-your-face burst damage, close quarters combat. Whereas with Sinner's composition and their Zarya and long-range DPS, the utility of their speed boost lies much more in the ways they can rotate, I think, and take advantage of picks that their Hanzo, their Sojourn gets from long range. They play much more, I think, in response than the composition that Southern Alabama's does.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Where I think Southern Alabama is speeding into our comps a lot more than we're doing into theirs. Center's being pretty reactive with waiting for a pick and then running in, while Southern Alabama is just running straight at us and doing their thing. And it looks like round 5 will be on Elios, another King of the Hill map. This will be very interesting, especially with two Lucios running into each other. I think this will be a huge matter of how well the tanks perform on that map. Or maybe Who's James will come out with another 5K overclock or something.
You also never know with Ilias. You have Well and you have Lighthouse, and those are two individual rounds and maps that really cater to Lucio players with their environmental kill opportunities. I'd love to see sort of a battle between the Lucios, who can have more impact, who can use their offensive utilities to the advantage the most.
Yep. I think the problem with Elios here, or at least with Lucios on Elios, is that they can get a bit overzealous and fish for that kill too much. I've definitely seen that many times in my games where I'll get too overzealous, or enemy Lucio gets too overzealous and gets killed, and then that really sets the pace for the other team to come in and just completely clean up.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I agree. I think Elios here can be decided based on how well the Lucios play.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see both teams stick with the compositions that have been working for them best.
Yeah.
On the side of Southern Alabama, it's that Reinhardt.
Smoke has been doing a lot. Yeah. He's had a lot of good shatters. He's charging properly as well. I don't think I've seen him charge and miss, which is very interesting to see now. Alright, and here we go into Elios. And the first map is Lighthouse, the environmental one like you were talking about. And I think it's safe to say that we'll see Adam and Sinister here pick up the Lucio, with probably a Baptiste for the main heals.
I think a lot on Lighthouse specifically, in addition to the environmental kill opportunities, there's a lot to be said about taking the high ground on either side as well as on top of the point itself, and utilizing that to get in some extra damage.
I stand corrected. Looks like Sinner has swapped up quite a bit, running the Reinhardt and the Reaper instead of a Genji/Hanzo or a Zarya. And Southern Alabama's made some very interesting changes, going back to the pharmacy, but this time picking up Zarya? Looks like Smoke is experimenting with some heroes here. Is he sticking on ball? It looks like Smoke is sticking on ball here.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, this will be the first time we've seen a ball in this match.
It looks like a lot of focus is going to be put from Southern Alabama on, diving in, doing some quick damage to the back line of Sinner.
It looks like Sinner has made an effort to get to point extremely fast. However, with the Pharah, it doesn't give them very much space to deal with her. And here she is taking an early pick on Vector, which leads to Sinner losing a few more people. Mercy having that res is so strong in Overwatch 2. Especially now that you have less people on your team, being able to bring one back is even more impactful. But yeah, the ball pick was really, really good for Southern Alabama.
The couple seismic slams he got onto
looks like Center has swapped off their Reinhardt for a Winston Kiriko Lucio comp. a lot more of a dive comp. However, Lucio gets picked off very early, resulting in a, this could be a very hard fight for Sinner to win here. But who's James with a good pick on the Pharah? That should be enough for the kill the Mercy as well. Yep, that might be enough to take the fight in favor of Sinner.
But the Wrecking Ball on the side of Southern Alabama still has a lot of his health pool left.
Yeah, he's still being very annoying. And leaving a Kiriko to keep the entire team sustained is a very dangerous game to play. And it looks like Ball is able to secure the point basically on his own.
Yeah, Sinner was not able to train the massive health pool that he had.
Yeah, 700 health plus his shielding ability. He's basically immortal. And he also has an Ana healer right in the back, so...
I think Sinner has to find some way to balance
Kiriko,
the tank busting with the dive.
I agree. Kiriko has been built here, so this could honestly sway the momentum entirely in one side. Sinner is jumping on the Ana, but they leave their own Kiriko to die, and I think that is more costly to them than them losing their Ana, as a Valkyrie is able to keep everyone healed and sustained. But Galvanijo willing to use the Primal Rage here.
We are closing in on the final percentage points that Southern Alabama requires to win the round, and you know, Sinner's really caught rock in a hard place here.
Yeah, they definitely. I did notice that Sinner hasn't built very many ults this round. They definitely tried, but they're just now getting their ults. But it's definitely too little, too late coming in with Sinner College. I think swaps do need to be made to deal with this Pharah.
Yeah, I would like to see some true hit scan come out from Sinner's side, especially considering the other two maps on Ilios, are just as airborne. The skybox is really
I think,
open.
this map here is very Pharah, very friendly to Pharah. Pharah also has a boost. She can knock people into the holes. She can chill pretty far back with her projectile rockets, and do some damage from there. Sinner is swapping up to the Moira here instead of a Baptiste, but the DPS are staying the same. And it looks like everything is staying the same on the side of Southern Alabama as well.
I think Sinner really has to focus on pressuring that Ana while keeping their own back on the line. I think that might be part of why they're on the Moira here, so she can go with them.
That is true, yeah. Ball immediately hopping in on their team, doing so much damage and not dying. But a good pick on the Genji. This might be what they need to take this fight here. Alright, Chalky Ghost really coming out here with the heals. Ball is insanely low, but I wonder if they'll be able to actually get the pick on him.
So Sinner did a much better job that fight of playing together. I really think that Moira pick was a great decision.
I agree. I think Ball might be able to die here. Killing Ball there is a pretty big deal. Adam's gonna have to play very, very heal heavy here with his, Moira being dead. It looks like Adam ran away while the other teams went a separate.
If Sinner can just play for their stall here, they might have a chance to do some work.
But unfortunately, it looks like Southern Alabama has taken it, and Sinner should probably take this opportunity to get out. Alright, Center is rocking a loop, and Moira ult should definitely be built fast. While Southern Alabama is rocking a Mercy ult, and their other ults, their Wrecking Ball ult and that Ana ult should also be built pretty fast.
I think unless we see some really big shots from Huge James here, it's going to be hard to take down a final fight.
Alright, we did quite an early beat here. We didn't... Insane pick on the Pharah. I wonder if we'll be able to prevent the res. Oh, and a great pick onto their Pharah for ulting there as well.
Huge James takes down a third
really
player.
Coming through with the damage now. Good kill, or good push by Adam into the hole.
Huge James racking up 4 more final blows in that one team fight, and Adamo with a great boost on the wrecking ball to get the 5th. I mean, this whole match has really just been a huge game's highlight reel in some respects.
It's been very intense though. So like, yeah, this has been very intense. Very close. Dive
Great
onto the
work by
Ana.
Center to stick together and
Yep.
take out that back line.
Both supports are dead here. Center should be able to clean up pretty easily.
If they can draw out these stalls, and looks like someone's still on the point. This might be great for Center.
Yeah, that's
More
be a pretty good
percentage.
stagger.
Yeah, Southern Alabama kind of doing themselves in right now.
Center sitting on 3 ults here, while Southern Alabama only has 2. But Nano Blade is a very powerful ult, and with no defense, no defensive ults here, that could be the point for.
Once again, a lot of responsibility lies on Adama here to use his speed boost and his boot to negate that Genji
All right,
ability.
here comes the Nano Blade, going straight for the our Moira and our Lucio. However, we picked their Ana there as well.
I actually like this Primal Rage from Galvanijo, trying to
do
get
as
the
well.
point to 99 so that if Center caps again.
That's a
they aren't
good
that
kill on their Genji here. Being able to just, get that kill, and it really stalled out the point for stalling out the point, I mean, for Center. And here comes Who's James with the overclock. It's always so fun to watch Who's James just go crazy with his overclock.
Yeah, he is just racking up even more final blows in the animations here. And Center is going to take round 2.
Goodness. Who's James is definitely the MVP.
Hey,
of
great work
this
by
game's
Chonky
overall.
Ghost as well to stay alive and
Yep.
support Who's James more so in the damage dealing than the healing. But
Yeah.
Who's James was in the right spots and he didn't even need those heals
The
oftentimes.
sustainability that Moira brings to the table is it's much higher than most people see, because we all know the stereotypes of Moiras. But Smoke is changing it up, and so Southern Alabama's entire team. Going back to the Reinhardt here and swapping their supports for Lucio Baptiste and their Farah for McCree. And we're making some swaps on our team as well. Well, never mind. We went back.
I really like this composition that Center's been playing on Leo so far.
I do as well.
In that second round they did a much better job of playing as a unit, keeping that dive cohesive and focused. But against this brawl comp that Southern Alabama is bringing out, I'm not sure if that will fare with the same benefits.
I'm not sure how well the Monkey is going to play into a Cassidy Baptiste, and with a Reinhardt who never misses a pin. This could be a good kill on the Cassidy. That is a good kill on the Cass. Now they're equal in DPS here. The Monkey, with a great kill on their support. That might be what Center needs here to take this point.
Galvanijo doing his best to take out the Lucio.
Oh, Lucio was super hurt. But Chunky Ghost with the kill! Chunky Ghost is doing a great job managing healing and DPS. I feel like he's really damaging where he needs to be. Like, I don't feel... Ooh, the slam by Smoke. Cleaning up the fight here.
I really thought Center was going to take that fight home.
But Smoke once again proving why he's on tank. Yeah, this is weird.
I have a feeling it's going to come down to the last fight. It's about as close as it
This
gets.
is very intense. I'm really enjoying this.
I like to see Center, just keep trying to dive into that Baptiste, force the lamp out, and try to get Southern Alabama to misuse it.
I think our Adama here should be really focusing on building his beat. Oh, good kill by Who's James, but met with another kill on our Adam. Down both supports on the side of Center. That might be too much for Center. The blade by Vector! We forgot about Vector!
Vector coming out with a big 2 kills there, and Galvanijo
Really saving the point for Center.
And so Adama should be able to build the rest of his deep drop ultimate charge off of Galvanijo's missing health.
Yeah, looks like Moira's trying to steal his health healing though. That's okay. He should definitely build it in time for a shatter. Meaning Adama should definitely be playing line of sight here. Yep, let's make sure we're... What a ghost!
Galvanijo
kill by
recovers!
Chunky Ghost!
Smoke was about to pin Galvanijo off the map, but he had his leap on off cooldown. And
Alright, that looks like that should be enough to clean up without the use of beat. Sinner only using 2 ults there as well.
Yeah, and the Death Blossom did come out from Snoop Turret.
But it didn't do much.
Yeah, it really didn't.
Alright, well, Sinner's holding on to the beat here. I think beat definitely needs to be saved for Shadow.
Yeah, Adam needs to focus on playing on the walls.
Yes.
Or at least on top of high ground.
Yeah, I think if Adama was up there, maybe, like on top of this stat or rock here, or a bit of an early beat, but I see why he did it.
Tried to react to the turn.
We got bounced up there playing a bit. However, Galvanijo is putting in a lot of damage here. Well, Who's James does get the pick on both the DPS. Who's James is...
Who is James?
I need to know. This man is going he is going insane. Honest, Smoke and Who's James have been doing so much for both their teams during this fight. Or during this game.
Oh my goodness, Sinner. Oh,
Who's James with the headshot?
15
Who is the guy?
this round alone.
Who is this guy? I need to know.
Putting Sinner arguably on his back throughout this match at certain points is Who's James. And
I need... The guy is so good.
Who's James is him.
He is him. For real. There's no other acceptable answer. However, Alabama is coming in with lots of ults here. Big sound barrier coming out from Alabama. We did Blade, and we Oh no! The Coalescence!
Oh, 3 ultimates were just used by Sinner.
Yeah, the Coalescence coming out was... Oh, that hurt to watch. Oh.
Hopefully Sinner's able to recover here. Not a lot of ultimates on either side.
Yeah. One fight is all that's needed.
Yeah, I would like to believe that the Earth Shatter that Smoke has here will be avoidable, and it's going to come down to one fight. The Sojourn on the side of Southern Alabama is in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's a huge kill on the side of Sinner. And a Shatter that only knocked down our Monkey, but Monkey was able to recover pretty well. The fight in this room. Oh, but this is where Reinhardt shines. And with the main healer down.
I don't know how I feel about Adam trying to go for the point.
Yeah, Adam
here.
could definitely just get back to his team. You don't want to die. No, you don't want to die. Oh no.
The Sinner has, not a lot of time to work with whatsoever. Galvanijo is creeping up on the Primal Rage.
Yes, and Adam is also creeping in on his beat. We need a touch here, or it's game over. All right, we have Vector on the point.
No, Sinner. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it together.
Sinner has beat here, but it does not look like it'll be enough. Oh.
And I think, things just got a little too skirmishy in this last round, but maybe Galvanijo, he doesn't even get the chance to use the Primal Rage.
What a close match between these two teams.
And a hard fought win by Southern Alabama. You can't ask for much more on Sinner's part, except for in those last, 2 minutes for them to be a little bit more organized.
Moat was doing so much as the Reinhardt here, like constantly charging and pinning somebody, constantly having a good shatter, and then like knowing how to survive. Smoke was doing really well.
I think we saw Sinner sort of devolve into a bit of panic in those last couple fights, and
yes,
sometimes that's all it takes for the other team to come on top.
Anyway. What a great match between these two. Both teams played amazingly. It was really fun to watch. Shout out to Who's James.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from this match, it's that Sinner has some really strong highlights to look back on.
Yeah. I think
a performance to be proud of.
Both teams should definitely be proud of how they played here. Yeah, so big GGs to both teams.